Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the best part of your week. It's Wednesday night, and that means it's time for the Super2Bit podcast. Tonight we have a epic topic, no pun intended, but the topic is basically Apple versus Epic and what is going on. I personally I've heard about it. I've heard like there's some sort of like beef flying between the two. I have no freaking idea what actually is going on. So I pulled in my expert, my resident expert, the marksman, and he's going to help me understand what, make tops and tails of this. So yes, that is the topic for tonight. Apple versus Epic, and Fortnite is caught in the crossfire. With that said, let's get my boy in here, Neil.
What's happening, Dave? I just realized you can't see when I'm actually arriving on the screen. So you were
That's
just like,
okay.
let's get him in here. Well, I was standing right next to you. You can see how
That's
well
so
we
good.
plan these things.
Top tier production, buddy.
Yeah.
Welcome. So everyone joining the chat, Stephen Roots, Thomas Bain, welcome, guys. Why don't you give us a few shares there if you guys are just joining us? Every like, every share, we really appreciate. The podcast has grown. Hey, Neil.
Yeah, the podcast is doing really nicely, and you can find it on all your favorite podcasting platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, and others.
But where might they find the link, Neil?
Oh, the link is everywhere except in the description of this exact podcast.
And I set you up so beautifully.
Maybe we should just jump on there and edit it quickly and add it in.
No, it's okay. We'll edit it later. But welcome, guys. Yes, so like I said, Apple versus Epic, and Fortnite is caught in the crossfire. Neil, I've got to say my knowledge on this topic is virtually nothing. So please, sir, tell me what the hell's going on.
All right, let me fire up some background goodies, and
That's
let's
the best.
see here. So, the first thing that you're gonna be asking is like, what in the world is going on, and why are you guys talking about good old-fashioned Fortnite? Because as you know, it's Dave's favorite game of all time, and
Number one of all
if
time.
you've ever
buddy.
watched him do some of those streams of Fortnite, you know he'll probably never play it again. So, what happened was, basically, Epic Games, the people who make Fortnite, came out with an update for Fortnite on iOS and on Android that allows you to buy items directly in game without going through the App Store or with Google Play Store or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Now, that's like cool, except all of these stores, if you make an app on them and you have in-app purchases, they all blatantly say you have to abide by our rules, and our rules are like, under normal circumstances, we are going to take 30% of any purchase on the App Store. So if you buy a game outright, if you buy like Carmageddon and you pay $100, Apple gets 30 Rand of that 100 Rand. Where if you buy a new skin or 100 Rand worth of V-Bucks, Apple's getting 30 Rand worth of V-Bucks. Now that's in the contract, it's written in stone. It's been like that since it started at the beginning. And Epic basically said, well, look, we're a free-to-play game. We want to be able to, sell directly to our customers. So let's just add this thing in, and let's see what happens. And what happened was Apple's like, cool, you broke the terms of the agreement. We are removing any updates to Fortnite. And I think Fortnite itself, you can't actually download it. You can still play it if it's installed, but you can't download it off the App Store now. So that's the big thing that happened, and then the Great War began, and we can start jumping into that.
So when you say they removed it. So like, okay, so obviously Apple is getting a 30% kickback to have, as they do, I'm sure, with all their in-game purchases on the App Store. And obviously, in exchange, they get to be on the platform. So you're saying that Epic literally released a patch that circumvented that, and basically a new marketplace, and they were going direct to Epic via the App Store, via the game.
Yeah, so they basically said, oh, you've got this thing in game, you can buy some V-Bucks or you can buy some stuff, and Apple basically gets no money. So kind of like, I like to think of it, imagine Pick and Pay, and you selling bottles of wine, Dave Shiraz, as you would like to have.
That's what I would call it.
Yeah. So there's a couple of bottles of Dave Shiraz at Pick and Pay's wine section, and Pick and Pay says to you, okay, cool, you can sell your wine here. We have 10,000 people coming in every day. You can put your wine on the shelf, but we're going to take 20% of the cost. You'd probably be like, okay, cool. I don't have a shop. I want to just put my wine in your shop. And they're like,
I want exposure.
I want access to your 10,000 customers. Cool. You can have the 20%. So that's basically what Apple's thing is. And it's almost like Epic's turned around now and said, look, I got the wine. I want to put it in your shop for free.
Yeah.
And I want all the money, and you must just look after everything. But don't worry, because you make so much money anyway, it won't affect you that much.
But that's a major breach of the contract, like you said. So obviously, Epic being the bad guys in this.
Well, that's the thing. But Epic's like, look, these are like billion and trillion dollar companies, and I think that's the biggest issue that Epic has is they're not going against some company that's like on the brink of bankruptcy. They're going against Apple, which is worth $2 trillion. Like Apple's like. Sure, apparently they made $7 billion off Fortnite last year, but when you're worth $2 trillion, $7 billion is like a little itchy scratch that you have.
They got some walking around money.
They have a little bit of walking around money. And the problem is that Epic's trying to frame this, that Apple's being the bad guy, and they're trying to actually rope in kids to like advertise or to go up against Apple and say what Apple's doing is unfair and it's like unmarketable and all of this stuff. So there's a whole hashtag free Fortnite thing that they have like in-game events. I think they had one this last weekend where you could win like evil agent Apple outfits, like where it's like an evil apple that you can win. Yeah, like dude, like it's that to me is where like they crossed the line.
That's boxing dirty.
Because their whole thing is that Apple does give concessions to certain companies. They Amazon, they're not taking 30% of Amazon's purchases for using the Amazon app. Amazon gets a fixed rate. Even Amazon Prime, they only taking like 20% of Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime or any of those things. So there are definitely agreements in place. Even something like Netflix, they're not taking that full 160 Rand a month or whatever. They're taking just a small portion of it. But these are arranged deals that Apple has in place. And Epic's saying, well, we want it too. And their whole argument is like, because if we don't have to pay Apple this 30% tax, we're going to pass the savings on to the customer. But it's rubbish. They're just going to make
dirty.
more.
And I've got some questions, but before I state the obvious, but before I do that, I want to welcome people that are just jumping into the chat. Deervold Brill Fenter, welcome. Thomas Bain. Same thing Google and Facebook is trying. That's interesting. Maybe we pick that up a bit later. Hanku wants me to stand up and show him the epic new merch. You got to wait, buddy. I can tease you with a little bit more, but that's all you get for now. You got to wait. I know, right, that MSI shirt looks sexy as fudge. Wait till you see the reveal. It's a onesie. Wait till you see it, buddy. But my question, Neil, is for me, this whole thing seems pretty cut and dry. They breached the contract, okay? Yeah. It's null and void. They're in the wrong. Apple should just take them off the platform and bygones be bygones. But now I read somewhere that Apple is saying they're going to turn a blind eye and forgive Epic if they just
I haven't seen that, but I think that's Apple's kind of saying like, listen, guys, I think they exactly like what you're saying. They're saying, guys, doesn't matter what you say or how you say it. We've got a written contract that you guys signed that every other app on the App Store has signed. They know the deal. Yeah. There's even more smoke to the fire that Tim Sweeney, he's the head of Epic Games. There's an email floating around of him writing to Tim Cook from Apple and saying, hey, bud, give us a special deal on the App Store stuff, because we're cool and we want that stuff. The other big thing is that Epic knew exactly what was going to happen by doing this. They released this CGI trailer that's a parody of the old 1984 Apple trailer where Apple's the big bad guy and the Fortnite character's the one running in and throwing the hammer.
With the hammer?
Yeah,
I remember that ad.
So
I wonder if we can.
No, I've got that.
Oh, okay.
So I'll show it, even though you can see it later.
We're
going to have that awesome Dave...
delayed reaction. Look at the hammer flying into the screen.
So I'm showing it now. So it's basically exactly the same. There's a big giant Apple head. There's Fortnite characters looking all worried. There's big armies, and then some purple haired Fortnite chick runs in and that breaks the TV and saves the day. and it's
Yeah, it's
exact
quite
like
clever.
frame for frame reshot.
Look at this. This is it. This is
They
exactly it.
released this like 1 minute after the ban came into
No, well
effect.
then it was
Yeah,
planned,
of
dude.
course it was planned, dude. It's like then they have this whole long story of
Look at this,
like,
dude.
oh, dude, and then I try and rope in the kids. So it's so interesting and so
What
stupid.
what's the end game here? They're literally just saying, "Screw you, we don't care." Like, then take us off. Do you think they're just calling their bluff? Like, take us off your platform. We know we're so
Dude, like
popular.
that is crazy because they say, oh, Apple made $7 billion off the App Store, but that's only 30% of what Epic made. So
Yeah.
Epic made 14 to 15 billion dollars off selling V-Bucks from Fortnite, and now
Yeah.
like who cares? Like, and the thing with Apple as well, like Fortnite's a free game. Anyone can download it and
Yeah.
play it for free. So how's Apple? What's Apple doing? Supporting this game, putting it on this platform, paying for all
Yeah.
the bandwidth, making sure that it's like meets their standards, runs on all the devices.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
that doesn't cost
Have
$7 billion, but still,
Yeah.
Apple's the one who's built the store. So
For sure. And
yeah,
I mean, Apple Store attracts a ton of eyes. And I think it's Tim Sweeney, yeah?
yeah,
The
he's
CEO of
the
Epic.
CEO of Epic.
I mean, where do you get off, Neil? When you no, let me say something. So where do you get off? So 30% of what they're making is what, 7 billion?
Mm-hmm.
So quick math says Tim Sweeney's company's walking away with what?
14, 15 billion.
Yeah, 14, 50 billion. So where does he get off saying, oh, we only made 15 billion this year. We need to do something drastic.
Yeah.
Like, how greedy can one man be? That's ridiculous.
And they're also
dude.
saying, oh, it's anti competitive and it's antitrust, sort of like what Microsoft was doing with Internet Explorer back in the day. But Apple's saying,
Yeah.
dude, like you have another option. You can go on the Google Play Store. You can go on the
Yeah.
weird Huawei store that exists now in weird Huawei land.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to sell your goods at Pick and Pay. You can sell them at
And,
Checkers.
yeah.
But like that's the problem
But-
is that like they say, even the judge says, look, what Apple's doing is, they're being greedy for sure, but they built the store that allows them to be greedy. Where what
Is-
Epic's saying is like, oh, but it's unfair. We wanted stuff for free, and
Yeah.
no one's given like a compelling or reason as to why.
Sorry, let me get the Twitch chat up. I didn't even know the Twitch chat was live. So we got the judge in here. Welcome, judge. Interesting question from Thomas Bain. Wait, Apple isn't hosting the servers. They just host the game install. Maybe that's why Epic's getting a little brazen with their actions. Welcome, Ruth Brooks.
Isn't that a like downfall of your own success? It's like, oh, we have so many people playing our game, we have to pay for more servers so more people play our game. That's rubbish.
I just
That's-
think I think it's
And
like it's,
no
it's,
no server
yeah.
farm costs $14 billion a year to run.
No, it blows my mind. It's like a bunch of guys with Ferraris, and they're
Yeah.
just racing each other. They're like, oh, we got to get a Lumo Ferrari next. It pisses me off, to be honest. I
Yeah.
think it's just greed.
So then there was some actual real, like, if it was just two billionaire, trillionaire companies going after each other and maybe, okay, some kids would not be able to play Fortnite, which may be a good thing in some ways. That would be okay. That would be like, cool,
Yeah.
these billionaires are fighting it out. It'll get resolved whenever. But what Apple
Yeah.
said is like, cool, because Epic Games has breached the contract, that breaches all of Epic Games' properties, which includes the Unreal Engine, which probably
Okay.
80% of all games on the iStore, maybe
Oh,
not. I don't know
my
what
word.
I don't know what the stats are exactly, but a
Dude.
lot of games on the iStore run on, like, PUBG basically,
yeah, of
mobile
course.
runs on it.
Tons.
Yeah.
That's
So-
so dirty. So they
Yeah.
had that ace in the hole the whole
Yeah,
time.
so they said, okay, cool. Epic Games has blown this, so we're going to remove all Unreal Engine-based games. You cannot update Unreal Engine because you broke the
Yeah.
rules, and that means if Fortnite can do it, what's stopping PUBG from doing it or whatever? Because it's
Yeah.
built into the engine that they're all using.
Yeah.
So that was like the big thing, where then any Unreal Engine game could not get any updates, could not get any new downloads.
Oh,
So
wow, dude.
yeah, so the big announcement, I think it came out either last night or earlier today. I think it was probably last night because it was in America. Some Supreme Court judge said, look, this thing between Apple and Epic's super dumb, and like everyone's a greedy idiot, and no one
That's
likes
kind of what I'm
anyone.
saying.
But
Yeah.
they can't, like Apple can't prevent updates of third-party games using this software
Yeah.
because it directly affects like their bottom lines and their like ability to make money. So like
Yeah.
at least like everyone except for Epic, basically Epic, even Apple, like they said, like dudes, just stop being idiots, go back to the normal
Yeah.
agreement. Maybe we'll work something out with you in future.
We'll turn a blind eye.
Yeah, and also I think that's why Apple now doesn't want to give them a Amazon style discount, because if they do give it, then the next big developer, Tencent or whatever, is going to try the same thing. They're also going to be like, oh, we're holding you hostage, and you got to give us better rates.
Let me tell you what I'm hearing here, and I'm no judge. I'm no judge, although I should be, but I'm not qualified. This is what I'm hearing. So basically, like Epic planned this because they had that sweet little video, little callback to their 84 Apple promo video. They had that prepped and ready. They had the ace in the hole, Neil, with pulling the Unreal Engine from the store, which is like half of their library gone, in terms of updates. So, dude, they were like, screw it. We're gonna take these guys on. They're gonna buckle, and we don't give a hoot and toot. And to my knowledge, then like you said, Apple were like, that's fine. Let's just call bygones be bygones. Let's just carry on. What's the latest, like to the minute news? What are Epic saying they're gonna do?
So it just seems like they're kind of like stuck in this limbo now. Like Epic still wants to pursue this court case. I don't know, like no one really knows what they can really argue other than, oh, we think it's unfair. And like that's basically, they just have to try and convince a judge that what Apple's doing is unfair. But most rational people are saying, look, it's a little bit, they're being maybe a bit greedy, and they're being a bit manipulative with the pricing. But as long as there's other options, you don't have to be on the Apple Store. Even like you saw all these guys leaving like Steam and creating their own stores, because everyone used to, this happened 10 years ago, maybe 10 years ago with Steam, where everyone jumped on
EA, Origin.
EA, they started their own thing. Ubisoft started their own thing. And now Microsoft started their own thing where everything, like everyone was like, oh, Steam takes all, like, they're taking 30% of our money. Why are we giving them 30%? Like, that's so unfair.
Yeah. We're only making $100 billion a month. What are they getting?
But now you're starting to see EA games are all coming back to the Steam store. Microsoft's all their new releases on Steam. Ubisoft, I think, is starting to slowly transition back to Steam, because they realize, like, yeah, sure, you can go out and build your own store, but it's A, not that easy, and B, it's very expensive to maintain, and there's a lot of stuff that happens, and once you've got a built-in audience, basically like how we make money on the stream by like selling advertising because we have an audience, like that's counts for more than that 30%. So like, Apple's basically saying, go out, build your own app store. We don't care. You can't put it on an Apple device because we own the entire ecosystem.
Which is like half of the phones out there.
Yeah. So like it's just what it is. I think everyone's just struggling to be like, okay, where to from here?
Well, that's it. I think in the Twitch chat, damn Daniel, saying rich people. It's like rich people problems. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys everyone's making stacks upon stacks, and they're just getting greedy. And I think, dude, I think Epic and Tim have had enough. I think they're like, screw it. We're going to take them to court. I think they've planned this. They
definitely have planned it.
I think they know that if they pull support for Unreal, they're going to cripple. Dude, like think of Apple exclusive games. There's so many Apple titles that are based on Unreal.
But remember, it wasn't Unreal that pulled support. It wasn't Epic that said. Apple said to Epic, we are pulling support on all the games that run on Unreal.
Oh, so they won't push through updates.
Yeah. So okay. Apple said to them, cool, dudes, if you don't want to be on here, that's fine. Or if you want to do your own thing, that's fine. But then we're going to pull. And Epic makes tons and tons of money. And that's also the best thing. Epic has almost the exact same model with the Unreal Engine where if it becomes successful, they take 30% of the profits anyway. So
Yeah.
it's again, it's like the pot calling kettle black. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Yaku Mostarter, what's up? How you doing, buddy? Thomas Bain says they just don't pull games. It was probably coming for a long time because a game as big as Fortnite would need a boardroom decision to remove them, an executive decision. Remember, Epic has lost tons of exclusive games recently. They will fight tooth and nail for their game to be available. Neil, if I had to ask the chat as well as you, is there a good and a bad guy in this fight, or is everyone just being an idiot?
I think they're all bad guys. I think honestly, Epic's being more of the bad guy, which isn't a great look, especially when you're going against Apple, which is a very easy company to be like, oh, they're definitely the bad guy. But like
Yeah.
Epic keeps trying, like with the Epic Store and all of these things, they're trying to portray themselves as the good guy, but everyone's just saying, you guys still are in this for the money. Where's the free V-Bucks, bro? Like, there's not
Yeah.
like Epic's thing is like, yeah, bro, we're gonna give everyone 30% discount on V-Bucks, but V-Bucks are made up imaginary pretend currency where you're selling pretend outfits. And I know we
Yeah.
all like pretend outfits
money.
and purple bullets and all that dumb
Yeah.
stuff.
We do. I'm gonna need a second mortgage eventually. I've bought so much crap online. Welcome, John Z, Six Shades. Long time, John Z. Good to see you. Thank you, my boy. Good to see you. Craig, JPJ in the house. Let's try here. Was he chatting on Twitch? Maybe I missed it. Sorry, but he fully agree with Neil Thomas
Sorry.
Ban.
On YouTube, the chat's a little bit broken. So
I don't know. I don't know. If
no,
we stream
there was
open.
only 2 people saying hi on YouTube. I've got it up on another device now.
Okay. Sean Volt. How's it, you beautiful creatures? Thank you, buddy. Good to see you, my man. So yeah, Neil, it's for me, it's basically like you say, it's what the kettle calling the coffee black. What's the term?
The
So you
pot
so
calling the
eloquently
kettle.
put it.
The pot calling the kettle
pot-
black.
I wish I was a judge in this. I'd be like, everyone's calling the kettle pot black. Let's all just go home and get on our yachts and just have some margaritas.
And
Sean with the 30 stars. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, it really is pretty insane. Like, and 2020 is just one of these years where it's like we don't actually need this in this. Like, there's more important things to be stressed about and worry about and do all of these crazy things about. Yet here we are with Fortnite, which is already like the biggest game in the world, making bajillions and bajillions of dollars. Like, who cares, man? Like, just let it be.
The whole world's going broke. Businesses are going under. People are struggling to keep the lights on. Then you got these guys fighting, over like this. They're making billions, like you say, by the minute, and they're still fighting over, rats and mice. It pisses me off. It angers me. You've angered me, Neil. That's good. It's good that we educate the masses.
Yeah, and it's really like I think one of the evil sides of it, or the dark, why Epic's the bad guy, is they're trying to rope in their audience, which they know is mainly children, like people under the age of 18, probably the 8 to 14-year-olds. They're trying to get them to go to their parents to make a fuss so that it starts making, like those really bad news stories you see on like CNN or Sky where the person's like, this game makes people crazy. And it's like, obviously the reporter's heard a story from someone, and it's just like this really terrible, we have not researched this, we don't know what we're talking about. That is exactly how this is going to end up being, because all these kids are telling their parents, and it's going to be some mom on Sky News saying, oh, my boy, he needs his V-Bucks. We spent all this money. Apple's so bad for, keeping it from him.
How dare they? We're throwing away our Apple TV. We don't want to support them.
Thanks, Hermione.
Craig Martin with a hundy stars. Thank you, Mr. Martin. You get the quad salute, you biscuit. Thank you very much. What a treat. Yeah. But that's it, buddy. I mean, like it's as you say, it's they're trying to build a child army in a way.
No, and it's really weird, and it's like I don't understand like why we aren't in a world where someone says nope, that's dumb, shut it down before it gets any further in this. Like, and especially like with this where you've got a contract in place, so Epic has to go on this mass crusade to try and get people.
Well, that's it.
To change their mind and be like, oh, contracts aren't real, and what we promised we don't mean. So Like, yeah, like on this video we're
Well,
watching
well,
now, this is showing all the agreements in writing where it says we're taking 30% of your money, but
yeah.
you get access to 150 million people. So if you make a Fortnite, you're not really going to miss that 30%.
That's why for me this is pretty cut and dry, and they don't really have a case, but they're boxing under the belt and they're saying,
Well, we're gonna get a child army, and we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that.
but the contract is a legally binding document, and
Yeah.
you put that in front of a high court, they're going to say, well, it is, fly a kite, you know. So I think if you had to ask me, and I'm the judge, even though I should be, but if you had to ask me, the judge is going to say, sweet, side with Apple because they've broken their contract that they signed.
Yeah.
And it's cut and dry. It literally is cut and dry. You know what I'm saying?
It is. It's so like, but we live in a world now where it's not cut and dry, where people can have these frivolous lawsuits to talk about this stuff, and it's like it's just making noise and
Yeah.
being rubbish. And I think honestly, Fortnite was probably on a downward trajectory, and this is maybe giving it a little bit of a little bump back up into people's minds because like it's not. And
Well,
that
it could
again
be
is
that.
also scummy. It's like you've made so much
be
money,
that.
the popularity is dropping. It's not the mega crazy hit that it was, but that's
Any press is
okay.
good press.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
okay. But like they're like, no, we can't let this thing die. Let's create this entire crazy thing. And
It
go
could
from
be that.
there.
It could just they're just kicking up dust. They know that they'll probably settle, and they like you say, Fortnite's on the back foot.
Yeah.
It's certainly not the talk of the town anymore. I think they're just looking for any reason to be in the headlines. You know,
Yeah.
it legitimately could be that. I wouldn't put it past them. Sean's got a question for you. Well, not a question, more like a state of fact. He said, "I heard the marksman." I'm just trying to do my best Sean impersonation. I heard the marksman drives on Johannesburg roads like he does in a setter. Is that true, Neil?
If you mean slowly and by the rules, yeah, sure.
Well, there you go, Sean. Craig, my boy Squeaky Bum, says, when the scum of computing hardware gets into a fight with the scum of gaming dev software, it's, you know what? I hope they both lose. To Jimmy's point, I don't want to see
Yeah.
anyone win. They're both scum companies. They're both just billionaires,
Yeah.
and like I don't care. I hope their yachts crash into each other and all the cocaine gets spilt into the sea and the dolphins snort it up through their blowholes and just ascend into the sky.
You should be a
You know?
you should be a designer on Fortnite.
I should be. But that's how I hope this whole thing ends, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
It's so weird, dude. It's really like one of those things where it's like cool, but like why? And how is this really gonna make the world better? Because at the end of the day, all that's gonna happen is nothing. And then
Yeah.
billionaires are still
Well,
making
that's
billions.
it. That's it, and I think we need to steer the conversation to something that we wanted to pick up in the tail end, and that is but before
On
we
the
do
what?
that,
On the tail end.
we need to steer. So a topic that I want to pick up in the tail end of the podcast. Before we do that, guys, who do you think's in the wrong here? Who do you think should win this whole story? If you even have a side, I don't blame you if you don't even have a side, because I certainly don't. So chime in the chat. But you mentioned V-Bucks earlier, Neil, and basically microtransactions. What's your take on that? Do you think that we basically are blurring the line between full-on gambling? Just to touch on that.
I don't think so. Like I think it's addictive, like gambling. Like if you speak to a father of a kid who's probably between 8 and 12 years old, they'll be like,
Yeah.
my kid doesn't want, the new PlayStation for his birthday. He just wants a V-Bucks voucher so he can get the latest outfit. Like kids get teased at school for not having the coolest outfit in Fortnite or whatever
Yeah.
it might be. Even you've fallen into the trap by buying stuff on Call of Duty. And
I have.
and to me, like, if people want to buy that stuff, all power to the people who are selling them. Like, that's really cool. Like, you crazy, but if you want to buy this digital piece of thing that is very much worthless, but
Yeah.
that's fine. But I think especially when it's like younger end of the audience, like getting tricked almost into pay to win or pay to be cool. I think that's
Yeah.
it's not gambling because you're not trading something to get something else. I think the loot boxes is, but if you've noticed these days, like loot boxes is basically done. It's like you play, you earn money, you can buy what you want to buy,
You
or
buy
you can
what you see in the store.
Yeah, or you spend more real money to get more money, so you can buy what you see in the store. That kind of stuff.
Have they removed the luck element completely from a loot box?
Not in some games. Like I think Apex, you still get lucky stuff, but you don't have to pay for them. Like I think that's where it's like, okay, if you don't pay for them, or you don't pay for like a special thing that enhances your luck, then it's not gambling. But I don't know. I find it all so weird, man. Like,
I think any game of chance where you have to spend money is gambling. You know what I'm saying? So if you're saying here's 10 rand, I'm hoping that I get something cool, and you don't. I mean, what's the difference between that and going down to Monte Casino and putting in a tenner? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. It's super weird. Let's see. There's some couple of good things in the chat here.
All right. We got my boy Squeaky. He says, and I trust JPJ, the preliminary ruling is in Apple's favor, it seems. This is what I was saying earlier. Apple's got the contract. It's cut and dry in front of a judge. That's going to hold solid. Yaku saying, Maria Callas once said, good news or bad news, stay in the news. Kind of fitting for tonight. Well, that's what we were saying. Any press is good press. And to Neil's point, I think Fortnite are looking for any reason to get back in the headlines because no one's playing. I'm looking at the Twitch feed right now. There's like 3 people playing Fortnite. No one gives a hoot and toot about Fortnite. Don't play Fortnite. It's a crap game. Well, maybe 5. Squeaky Bum saying, I buy Call of Duty stuff because I want to support the devs. They have been doing a good job. It's not like I buy all of them, just 1 or 2 a season that I like. And I'm down with that. I buy skins. I buy tracer rounds because I love it. Anything that you love, you want to kind of like support. I'm down with that. But what I'm saying is like is the luck element, the whole loot box element, where you're like I could get a tracer round, but I also could get nothing.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's being completely removed because I still see it lingering in some games.
Yeah. Well.
And
yeah, Call of Duty basically doesn't have it at all. I don't think they don't really have that loot box mechanic.
They used to.
Yeah, in the older versions they had it. But they've got the unlocks, and all the unlock parts are like exactly explained. It's like you need to do 10 headshots with this thing, and then you get this, or you need to go to this place on the map and ring the bell,
which is cool.
And do that.
Which is cool.
It isn't bad. What I find crazy though, and what blows my mind is that, like, why don't they have they've got the season pass, right? Which is kind of what I want, but like I want the thing where it's like I'll pay 1,000 rand. Give me everything, because actually I'm just here to play the game. I'll give you $1,000 or I'll give you no bucks. Like, but choose which one you want from me. But they don't have that. They have like the 13,000. No, but they have you can buy a season pass. It's like I don't want the season pass. I want the forever pass.
Oh, but they also had that back in the day. So you'd buy the hardened edition, and you'd literally get all seasons, all DLC.
They don't do
for
that
like
anymore.
3,000 rand.
But it also makes sense because now, if you look at just the free games you get, the games you pay no money, like Warzone, you're getting a full-on Call of Duty open world experience, polished, amazing, stupid big install sizes, but it's free. You get that for free. You get Destinies for free. You get like all of these massive games. You can have this huge library of like all these free games, like Epic Game Store. Again, they're giving away all these free games. You don't have to spend any money, and you can play for years. Like I remember saving all my pocket money for months to buy one game, and then playing that one game with its 5 levels to death. But I feel like I appreciate it a lot more.
Well, that's the thing. I remember saving up like every nickel and dime because I could only buy like 2 or 3 games a year. And then you'd go down to the store and there'll be all the beautiful old classic boxes, the impressive boxes with all the artwork. And you'd be like, I've mowed every neighbor's garden for the last 3 months. I'm going to buy Ultimate 9 Ascension. And then you go home and it doesn't run on your computer, and you're like, why? And then you try to convince the guy at the store that traded for SWAT 4, SWAT 3, which he does. And it ends up being one of the best games of your childhood. I like I got so distracted. Bottom line is like you used to appreciate SWAT 3. Like I lingered onto that game for a year. I appreciated everything
Yeah.
about that game. But now, like you say, you jump onto any of these Origin, Steam, and you get a free game
But
or
it's
two
almost
free
like the
games a month.
game is secondary to the stuff they're selling, which is
Yeah.
weird to me. It's like, because like Warzone's a great game. Like Warzone, they can take all of the stuff out of it, all the outfits and skins and all of that stuff. I'd
Yeah.
carry on playing it exactly the same amount of time. Like,
Yeah.
it's to me, it's like I don't play it for that stuff. I play it because it's a good game, and I don't play Fortnite because it's a bad game.
It's a terrible game. It's a terrible game, and I think that might be a topic on its own. Is
Yeah.
basically like, do games still have the same value to you as they did 20 years ago? Because I don't think so.
I
I
was
think
actually
we're
thinking
spoiled.
that exact same thing, dude. Like it's
We're
like
spoiled for choice.
and yeah, it's games are so much better now, but I don't love them as much as I love those games,
No way.
which is weird.
No ways.
Like
No
it's
ways.
super
Like
weird.
it's changed. Craig with the perfect question. Dave was the noob that didn't read the PC specs on the game box. So you know what I used to do, dude? I used to go turn the box around. I'm like, oh, it needs like 500 megs of RAM. I'm like, I've got 250, but I'm sure it'll be fine. You know, and then and basically, I'm sure they're saying that, but it's not really true. And I'd go home, and then I'd phone Neil at like 10:30 at night on a school night. And he's like, dude, you can't phone me this late. You can't phone me this late. I'm like, why isn't it working, Neil? And I just cry on the phone with Neil for like an hour. And he's like, just take the game back and get a different game. It's not going to run. And has anything changed, Neil?
No, nothing changes.
Now we have Team Viewer.
Nothing changes. Yeah. No, I just fix it. I'm just like, oh, whatever.
Now you're just like, well, I'll fix it.
Hell.
That's it. Thomas Bain saying game value. No, they don't have the same value. Thomas agreeing. They don't make games like they used to. I think I personally believe we are spoiled for choice. I open my Steam library and I have like 180 games.
Dude, you probably
of
have
which,
380 games.
yeah, dude, of which maybe 4 are installed, of which
Yeah.
I've maybe completed 2
Yeah.
in the last year.
Yeah.
And I think, and then, like I said, I don't want to go into this too much because this is probably a topic on its own. I think we are just overstimulated, bro. And we're not appreciating anything anymore when it comes to the video gaming industry.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not saying these games like Warzone legit is one of my favorite games. Apex is also
Yeah.
one of my favorite games. Like, but it's just like one of those things like where are they? Maybe it's because we're getting old as well. Like maybe we're overthinking of this. Maybe
don't know,
maybe
dude.
kids are like, oh my god, Warzone. I mean, Fortnite. Maybe we just don't
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
But I know, like,
sorry.
worms is still the coolest thing.
You had the biggest in burp there. I thought you stopped talking.
I needed to
You know,
breathe.
I was going to start talking. It's the longest in burp I've ever heard. Sorry, carry on. Sorry.
No, I'm done now. You ruined my train of thought.
Sorry. Well, hopefully you relieve the gas. Craig saying, "Well, Neil, my condolences." Yes, dude. So you think this has just been the last 2-3 years? This has been going on for almost.
I'm
2
actually only
decades.
18 years old and I look like this.
Yeah, Neil's only, he's only 18. Like he looks like he's 40. It's
Yeah.
just the stress of trying to fix my games.
jeez.
But yeah, I mean, like it's an interesting topic. Even what we're talking about tonight, the very fact that this lawsuit or this court battle exists is mind-boggling. It shows you that gaming as an industry has taken a route that is, I don't know if it's a good route, to be honest. And I think we've lost touch with what made gaming so great, and we certainly don't appreciate games like we used to. Like I think that much is true.
Yeah.
And it's a sad state of the industry.
It is, and it's not a bad thing. Like there are, but I think it's also there's just so many games now. Back in the day when the new Resident Evil was coming out, that was the only game of that quarter that anyone was going to buy. Where now
Yeah.
it's like, okay, cool. There's a new season of Fortnite coming out. There's a new season of Apex. There's a new season of Warzone. You don't like. Games are blending into each other. Like tonight, they're doing the Cold War reveal in Warzone. So it's like,
7:30.
and it's gonna like Warzone's just gonna become Cold War later on. Like it's just all gonna blend into each other. So
Yeah.
like we sort of, wow, we've gone off track from where we started, but it's like, it is interesting. And I think it's something we must definitely like dig deep into on another podcast. So maybe write it down, Dave, because I'm probably going to forget.
I'll remember. But yes, we'll say that for another one. But yes, so in closing, I mean, like, first of all, thanks for actually telling me what's going on, because I had no clue the nitty gritty of this whole court battle. Now that you've told me, I care less, to be honest.
You should, like, it's actually like the first time that you haven't cared about something that doesn't need caring about. Usually you're like on board and you're like, I need to know everything about this thing that doesn't affect my life.
I'm invested, but these are just a bunch of rich guys, and they're just squabbling over billions of their trillions, and they can all just, like I said, I hope the yachts crash into each other and the dolphins gouge their eyes out. But we all know that probably won't happen.
Probably.
But yeah, what are your closing thoughts here, Neil?
I think, don't let rich, dumb corporations, make drama in your life. Like, no one except for Epic and Apple actually needs to care about this. Like, no one should care. And I think that's my closing thought. Don't care about this. Dave's even learned this lesson. I think it's a really good thing.
I think this is just kind of the fact that we've actually reflected on the old days and said, well, geez, how did we even get to this point? It tells me that we've taken a wrong path, and I think we need to all remember why we enjoy games in the first place. Hey, Craig, looking at you, Craig. No, I'm joking. Craig saying, well, when something truly amazing does come around, bet your bollocks Dave will say it's crap. Cough, beer, punk, cough. Oh, cyberpunk. FYI, Craig. FYI, I saw a recent micro destruction trailer for Cyberpunk that tickled me so pink. And I think that it might be my game of the year, purely based on the fact that the micro destruction is so impressive. You know me, I'm a sucker for micro destruction. So it's on my radar. It's on my radar front and center. So we'll have to see, but that's a discussion for another day. Yes, Neil. So I think everyone's excited to maybe have some dinner before the big Call of Duty Cold War reveal. So we're going to have to end the podcast there, unfortunately.
Are you going to be streaming it?
Well, I don't know how the hell to watch it.
I think you just log into Warzone at 7:30, and then something happens.
This is too, once again, like, I feel like we're gaming in the wrong era, because, like, I just want to watch it happen in front of me, like we always used to do. Yeah. Now I've got to go into the game and go somewhere and answer a phone and do stuff. Why do I have to do
Why don't you just fire up a stream and watch someone else doing it, and then?
Jimmy, are you doing it? Are you going to be doing it?
You're going to say Jimmy.
Jimmy, are you going to be doing it? Because I'll just stream you doing it, because I'm too lazy to figure it out. And apparently there's a whole bunch of
I also started reading it. I was like, nope, I'm just going to watch Dr. Disrespect do it.
I think that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But with that said, guys, oh wait, we got 200 stars coming from Thomas Bain. Nice discussion tonight. Thank you very much, Thomas. Spoiling us, buddy. Thank you. And guys, don't forget to give us a share, even if you're watching this after the fact. Just give us a share, and we'll leave the link to the Spotify and Apple.
And just search on your favorite podcast player. Just search Super2Bit, and you'll find us. Subscribe, register, give us a review. It helps us grow.
It's actually the Super2Bit podcast. I searched Super2Bit and found nothing. So we need to look into that. But drop us a follow, drop us a subscribe on those platforms as well. And thank you for the support. We've basically finished our first full month of not even a month and a half of podcasting, and the numbers are looking fantastic. We can't wait to. I think, Neil, what are our numbers for the last month?
We did around 15,000 downloads.
Yeah, and subscribers.
Subscribers over almost 700 subscribers now.
Yeah,
so we're looking pretty good.
It's getting there, guys. And like I said, we wouldn't have any of that if it wasn't for your support. We really do appreciate it. Rowan, take it easy. Oh, thank you, Bertus, for the 15 and a wave. Justin Brooks, welcome. At least he made it at the end of the show. Guys, much love to every single one of you. And I hope you enjoyed tonight's podcast. We will be back, obviously, next week with another podcast. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming this Call of Duty thing. It's too confusing, and I'm too old.
Just watch the doc.
So I'll watch the doc. But we love you guys.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, Neil, you're not streaming tonight?
No. Watching the doc.
All right, cool.
Cheers, guys.
We're all watching the doc. See you guys. Until next time, thanks for the support. Much love to you guys. Take it easy.
Bye.